walk you through how the design process works as an overview. It's also written on the description, so you can go ahead and check that out below. We start out with a conversation just like this, whether it be video, whether it be in person. In person is always great. It's usually a long one because I really want to get to know you. I want to know, what this project means to you, know the backstory, how you got there to have that new home or to have that new space, or this restaurant that you might be launching. Like, I'm interested in all those things because all of that, I think, adds a lot of value to the project and helps me in my creative process of designing this new space for you. The rooms that you want to get done, or the space, what are maybe some constraints that the space may have. I want to know about your timeline. I want to know about your budget, whether you want me to take care of the entire project, or whether you just want the design, or whether you want it to be all completely virtual. At the end of this stage, we will submit a proposal to you that will outline all the specifics of what your project entails. We then go back over the proposal, make any changes that are necessary, and then we move on to the fun part, which is the creative part of the process, and that is delivering you with a creative brief. A creative brief has all of these ideas using images or videos or stock photos, maybe certain memorabilia that you want to include. Think of it like this big PDF document with all of these beautiful images that speak to the experience and the kind of design that you want in your space. Then we move into creating a conceptual design. A conceptual design is a very specific and individualized design for each of the spaces. So taking from this inspiration, then we will design how your master bedroom would look, the kinds of tiles that we're going to use for your bathroom, the kind of counter that we will use in the kitchen, if we want to make any lighting changes to your current electrical plan, whether we need to move outlets, whether we need to knock down walls. We will have a list of all the furniture items that you would love to have in those spaces, specific wall applications like a board and batten pattern, or maybe some wooden siding, or ship panel, or wallpaper. Then we move into our measuring phase, which is really an ongoing phase throughout the entire process. But we will measure all of your walls, we will measure your windows, your ceiling height, we will take videos to see everything that's on the floor level, but also on the ceiling level, any kinds of drop-down ceilings that you may have, or skylights. We also want to get a cardinal point direction, which tells us how your house is in relation to north, south, east, or west, so we know what windows get the most sun, maybe what plants we can put there in the future. Then we can go on to creating functional layouts. So based on the measurements that we have for the space and the kind of furniture that you want to allocate, or whether that room is going to be an office, whether it's going to be a nursery, whether it's a patio, then we will create those layouts, meaning how the furniture is going to be placed in each of those rooms. Also the phase where we can narrow down more whether we want to knock down a wall, maybe to accommodate your needs a little bit better. All of these changes would be submitted into plans that you can then either give to your contractor that you're working with, or we take care of that and we communicate with our contractor so they can make those changes for you. Our next step is creating visual 3D models and imagery. So we're going to take everything that we have learned so far about your project, measurement, all of the ideas that we have, the specific arrangements that we want in the rooms, and we input all of that information into either SketchUp or a 3D visualization software so that we can give you a realistic expectation of what your project is going to look like. Show you every single one of the parts of your project, all of the features that it will include, everything we've talked about, represented in a visual model so you can see and feel for yourself. Once we are 100% sure that this is the design that we want, we will go ahead and mark it up, meaning we will make it into a PDF document that has everything spelled out so your contractor can understand, what he's working with, the kind of changes that we want, the kinds of tiles that we want to use, the paint, whether it's going to be gloss or semi-gloss, all of the color palettes, all of the special features that we want in your wall. It's also important to note that maybe you don't really want any 3D renderings or your project doesn't need it, so we would skip this step entirely.